Before we get into the podcast, make sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at This Strange World Podcast, and on Twitter at This Strange Pod.
Welcome back to This Strange World. I'm Gavin.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Chris.
And guys, it's been a while since we've recorded. I think it's been like a month or so.
It's been a bit, yeah. I mean, these are being posted back to back, so the viewer wouldn't know. But we took a little break.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, It's fine. We have stuff to do, but hey, it's always fun recording.
Exactly. In that break, we got a crispy new microphone, so I'm gonna be not sounding like crispy. A radio static coming through your speakers anymore.
Now it's much better, Chris. I if I can't see you and be with you, at least I feel better knowing that I can hear you better. Oh. I couldn't speak for a second.
So now, since we are all reunited, we actually have a very special guest on today. Special guest, would you like to say your name and a little bit about you?
Hello, everyone, on the Strange World podcast. My name is Bailey Wilkinson, and yeah, I'm just here. I'm looking to have a good time, maybe meet somebody, and see.
Do you like
if
long
I
walks
can
on the
beach? Maybe more long walks on a lake. I'm trying to, switch it up a little bit.
Woodsy, nice.
Yeah, more outdoorsy type vibe.
I dig it. Okay. Bailey is one of our friends from school. You were, I know we've had a couple of classes together, Bailey, but we were all, were we all in a class together? All four of us, right?
We were all
of us except for Chris.
Chris was not in the class.
Yes, Chris was in a different section of a similar class that we were all in, and then me and Gavin have worked on a student-ran TV show also. We were on the crew for 2 student-ran television shows.
Yes, you were on my show. I cast you on my show. He's hilarious.
Yes.
So now you have a lot to live up to.
Well,
not to set expectations high.
Now I have to try to be,
You got to be in your A game. So yeah, there's a lot. We've been around. We've all seen each other. Yeah. We've been around.
It's been a minute.
If we have seen each other, we've been wearing masks and we've been distancing. I've actually just been right on top of all of you. Like when I've seen you, like when I saw Chris, I just koala'd him, just jumped up, wrapped my arms around
Ideally, yes.
Let's just say he broke the 6 feet social distancing guidelines.
Well, now this episode should be posted in early to mid-September. It should be like about a week into September. So theoretically, whenever we post this, I know I'm going to be back at school. I think you guys are probably going to be around
later.
But so who knows how the world's going to be by that point?
We should make a prediction.
We should make a prediction?
Yes, about how the world will look
idea.
In September. I think by September, I think people will still be talking about all of this. I think the vaccine may have come along a little bit, maybe mass distribution or however they're going to, send it out or whatever. Yeah, and then the election, that's in November. But I was thinking about the mail-in ballots because of all that stuff that's going on.
Yeah, when you hear this, make sure to send in your ballots. Send in your ballots.
Yes,
but,
please.
Yes, I think we're going to do an episode related to something like that. So definitely send those ballots. So Leah, you have such a great topic for today's episode. Tell us about it.
We are going to be looking at 20 video game Easter eggs. Now, I did the research. I'm not a big gamer, as I had said in a previous podcast. So Gavin, Bailey, Chris, I'm kind of relying on you guys to kind of carry, a little bit of the detail of the game. I just have the Easter eggs, man, so.
Yo, does the Nintendogs have any Easter eggs? Because I am a Nintendogs expert. Ask me any question about Nintendogs.
I feel bad for my Nintendogs. I haven't fed them since 2007. So they're pretty hungry.
Chris, I hate to break it to you, they're dead at this point. I'm sorry. I worked at the vet clinic. We had
what a great way! What a bright and early way to start. They're on a digital farm. Anyway, Leah, let's jump right into it.
Exactly. So the first one is the Konami code. The code was created in 1986 and used in dozens of games, from GTA Online to Fortnite to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Basically, on your gaming controller, you would do up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start. And it was first used to give players free power-ups in an old 1986 Nintendo game named Gradius.
I've never heard of Gradius. I knew that. I thought this was from Nintendo. I've heard of this one before. This is, I feel like, I think this is pretty interesting because, like you said, GTA Online. Like, I feel like this one has gone over. It's not just like Nintendo games. It's like you said, Fortnite. It's like possibly the most classic video game Easter egg.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I am very familiar with the Konami code. When you were saying that, I was thinking in my head, like, the next buttons that you'd press to get, like, yeah. I'm very familiar with this.
Do you use it often? Do you use those cheats often and those powers?
I don't condone cheating in video games, so I'm not allowed to say. But yes, I do use this cheat all the time.
I'm not familiar with the Konami code, but I am familiar with similar cheat code sequences in other games. Like, I remember I was one of the favorite video games that I played when I was younger. It wasn't the Konami code exactly, but for some weird reason, I always loved playing video games that were based off of a movie. So I looked at my dad and I wasn't, let's play Grand Theft Auto, or hey, can I get like the new like Pac-Man or whatever? Like, hey, can I play Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers on PlayStation 2? But what Leah was just saying about the Konami code, I remember with the game, me and my dad did our research online, and we found that if you typed in certain codes, I know one of them, I think it was square, triangle, X, again, left, right, up, it would give you, say, infinite magic or something in the game. Or if you pressed circle, circle, triangle, triangle, X circle, you would get infinite health, or like you would not die, you would kill enemies in one shot. So I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, I think there are different codes generated for whatever different type of powers or life stuff, you know? Not a big gamer, like I said, but we're doing this anyway.
I think my extent with cheat codes like this is like with like the Lego Star Wars and like trying to get like the different skins or like more coins or stuff like that. Did you guys ever play like the Lego Star Wars? They're so good.
I used to collect Lego games when I was a kid. So I love those games.
Oh, you feel it. You get it.
I think some of the Lego games are better than the actual movies that they, try to replicate. I think some of the Lego Star Wars moments, say, for example, in the first Lego Star Wars game, A New Hope, instead of seeing C-3PO and R2-D2 like take the escape pod, and you see a bunch of stormtroopers in a hot tub, just bathing with each other.
Oh yeah,
they're just bros chilling out. I want that in A New Hope remastered. Disney, if you're listening,
were so funny.
That's what I want. I'll pay $30 for that. Not Mulan.
It'll be like $60. Games are expensive.
So number 2 is Bioshock Infinite Easter Egg, and it kind of actually connects with the Konami code. This Easter egg would appear if you beat the game or on the console by typing in the Konami code. Some of the effects were enemies would inflict greater damage on the player, the navigation arrow is removed, you would have no auto-aim, and finally in the game, dying comes at a cost of spending in-game money to come back to life, and if you don't have enough, you would be sent back to the main menu, being forced to restart the game.
I feel like that's worse. Why
would you want to put in a code that makes your game worse? Why do you want to make it harder for yourself?
Huh? Isn't it kind of like that Minecraft thing where you play on like extra hard or something, and if you die,
hardcore mode where if you die, the whole game resets. Yeah.
If you want your game to be played like that, I understand, because there are a lot of hardcore players, no pun intended, that want that experience. But I know there are some games where you get rewarded for playing at a more difficult level, where I think there was one game, I forget what it was, but you could put on certain things, I forget what they were called, like rituals or artifacts or whatever, and the more you had on, the more XP or experience you would earn, and the quicker you would level up and get stuff within the match itself. So it's a risk versus reward type deal, but I think with Bioshock it sounds very stupid, because if you don't have enough currency, then, That's
It might just
capitalism
be a
for you,
challenge.
You're
folks.
stuck.
I mean, you're stuck.
I think it's a challenge. I think it's the challenge part. Yeah, I think
That's
it's
the challenge.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah, players put it in because they want to be like, well, I beat. It's the same thing as like, so Halo has this thing that they have skulls, and the skulls change the way that the game plays. And so you can play. There's a thing called Lasso, which is legendary all skulls on, which is like if you beat the game doing legendary all skulls on, like it's this huge accomplishment. So I wonder if that's the same thing, is people putting this code to make their game really hard, and then they can say, well, I beat the game with the Konami code on.
Yeah, it's like not that it's like the Minecraft hardcore mode or whatever. Like it's not even like possible. It's like even that much more secretive and like more that you want to like be able to prove that you've completed it.
I'm the type of gamer, personally, if and when I game, which is very little, but I have zero patience when it comes, like Animal Crossing New Horizons, since that was a game that runs in real time. I had like absolutely, I sold my Switch in like 2 weeks. I was like, I can't do this. Like, it was a dumb buy of me, and I admit that. But if I played the Konami code on this game, that console would be in a million trillion
You might sell
pieces.
your PlayStation.
Oh yeah! Oh my
Yep.
god, it wouldn't be a PlayStation by the end. The next one is Totaka's song. Composer Kuzami Totaka adds a 19-note jingle as a secret in every game he composes for, including Zelda's Link's Awakening and Luigi's Mansion. Most famous in Animal Crossing series, played by KK Slider, he was inspired by Totaka.
So is it like
in
almost a jingle that just appears in a lot of games?
So he makes these 19-note jingles in like
Is it the same jingle that just shows up like
No,
maybe with different
it's probably
instruments?
all different. I think it's all different. Because when you hear KK Slider in Animal Crossing has a few dozen songs or something like that. So I think they're all different.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that like signature thing is like 19 notes.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me of like certain theme songs in the game where it's not necessarily an Easter egg, but the developer will like subtly weave in the main theme song throughout different character introductions or certain levels that you're playing in. Most notably, I can think of probably the Mario Brothers, like those games. I know a lot of songs they intertwine. Say the final boss, whether it's Bowser or Bowser Jr. or Bowser Sr. or Lady Bowser or Weenie Hut Bowser Jr.'s or Carl's Bowser Jr.'s. You get the point. But whether it's the final boss, they always try to combine all of the final songs in the game and do that little Easter. I think that's a little Easter egg because if
That's
you're paying
cool.
attention, you can see, that's the song from World 1, and then that's the song from World 3 if that took place in the air, and that's the air level and all that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big Nintendo thing.
Yeah. I feel like Nintendo puts in a lot of Easter eggs. I know a few other games like GTA and COD put in a few, but I think Nintendo is like one of the big ones because all their games and all their characters kind of intertwine. For example, you have like Super Smash Ultimate, and you have like Mario, and you have Wii Fit Trainer, and you have the Wally guy. I'm totally blanking out on the name right now.
My boy Rob.
Rob.
Rob. So
Rob.
every person, every animation or character in the Nintendo game, they all just connect in some certain way, which is really cool. Which props to Nintendo for that. Honestly, love that.
I mean, even also like I feel like then like the music, because like Bailey was just saying about like even like for example in like Mario of how like it's similar vibes but like different of like then the above ground and the sky and below ground and all those different things. That there's definitely probably a lot of subtle Easter eggs in each game and probably how they progress over each game and different series and all different stuff like that.
I think Waluigi should get a 19-note jingle when he is reintroduced into Super Smash. His rightful place.
100%.
He was left out this time and very upset.
What? Sorry, I'm not laughing. Jeez.
Take your time.
What, Chris?
I was asking, is it like a hidden? Is it a hidden soundtrack, or is it very? Can you notice it?
I think you can notice it, but I think you gotta really listen for it because, as you know, in some of the games, some of the volumes is just really low, and they don't do a good audio check sometimes when they have the background music, the bump going.
Because I know this isn't a video game, but in the new Star Wars trilogy that they came out with, John Williams put the different he could tell the story of the movie and kind of hint at what was going to happen at the end of the movie by the way that he wrote each person's introduction soundtrack, but it was like hidden in like the way that the notes would play out, and it was hidden in like the scales that he would use. So I was wondering, is this one of those things that like, is it one of those music things that you hear and you go, oh, I can hear that? Or is it like you have to really pay attention and you might hear it?
Yeah, I think it's like you have to pay attention and you might hear it because, you know, sometimes it's like an Easter egg. You want to kind of sneak it in there. You want to see who can notice it and who will be the first to put it out on the web and be like, hey, I found this. Take credit.
So next Easter egg, Lisa. Lisa.
Lisa.
All right. Next Easter egg, Leah. Hit us with it. Hit us with the fourth Easter egg.
The next Easter egg is actually recent, and this is the Animal Crossing New Horizons TV Aliens Easter egg. And basically, in Animal Crossing New Horizons, if you look at your in-game TV at 3:33 a.m., the broadcast will be hijacked by aliens.
Okay, I have a quick question. You said, I've never played Animal Crossing's New Horizons, but did you say that, does it follow normal time, like throughout the day? And there's no way to like fast forward or anything?
There is, but like, I don't want to cheat, but I just don't have the patience.
No, but like, so like for the normal way, like you'll log on, like it's the time that it is. Like, okay.
Yeah, and like the shops
actually
and
be
stuff.
3:33 a.m. when you're playing it.
Exactly. But
Spooky.
also the in-game shops and in-game stores, those will also actually close at like 9 or 10, sometimes midnight. But it does actually really keep up with real time.
I love when developers do that.
I would only play this game late at night, so I don't know why. Like, I would not be able to play this if I like log on every time and it's always everything's closed. But this, I think the Easter egg, very cool.
I think that's such a
you
cute
kind of have
little
like
Easter egg.
Yeah, but you have your friends, your Switch number friends that you play with. So I actually have a few friends in LA. So I'd go to their island because their stores would be open and I'd sell some of the junk in my pockets. But again, I gave up. It just was not my thing.
I think a cool addition they could do to make the Easter egg not better, but to just add more to it, say at different times of the day, say if it's 12:25 on Christmas, maybe the TV puts on something with the aliens with little Santa hats and the reindeer flying around and all of that.
Yeah.
Make it even cuter.
Animal Crossing is actually seasonal as well. I don't think I said that, but I feel like a lot of people may know that, is that it actually does keep up with the seasons. So you get special items for every season. So in one season you may get a Christmas tree and in the other one you'll get Easter eggs. So I think that's really cool about the game. Again, just didn't have the time, patience, anything like that.
Going back to the Easter egg, I just want to know who stay up. Like, who's the person that stayed up till 3:33 in the morning? Exactly at 3:33, went on their TV and was like, "Oh wow, this is something."
Well, Chris, you have Animal Crossing, so you know when you're on at certain times, like sharks would appear more. At, like,
Not to me. Not for me.
I don't think you got that far, but like sharks would appear around 6, and then certain bugs would appear at certain months and certain time of the day. So,
no, but that's a good point, Chris. Of like who knew to wait at their TV to see.
It's such a specific time
that
you wait like 3:33 in the morning, like that.
Yeah.
Someone who couldn't sleep.
I think it has to do kind of with like the witching hour. I think the witching hour is around like 3:30 or something like that.
Yeah,
at 3 o'clock. Whatever 3. Yeah.
Bailey, you're shaking your head. Are you going to tell us that every hour is witching hour? What's up?
I was just saying that Animal Crossing, I think, is promoting Satanism and.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us about witching hour.
Oh, maybe. You know what we call that? We call that amateur hour.
All right. So coming in at number 5, this is the NBA Jam Easter egg.
This also isn't. It's not a top 10 list. By the way, you just said that it's number 5. It's not a top 10 or not a top 20 list.
Sorry.
They're not ranked. No, it's totally fine.
Number 5.
And coming in at number 5, we have.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're not ranked. I'm just saying for the listeners out there, they're not ranked. This just happens to be number 5 out of 20.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. This is not being edited out, by the way. It's candid. I'm so sorry for interrupting you. Continue.
No, that's good. That's good. Okay. So coming in at number 5, the NBA Jam Easter egg. In this classic arcade version, you could play the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and in the console version, you could play as Bill or Hillary Clinton, as well as Al Gore. Now, the one thing I don't think I got specific is that you could play as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or you could play the music from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think it's a person. Yeah, it's like your character. I think it's your character.
So you can dunk on Hillary as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Maybe. Or you can dunk on Al Gore as Hillary.
That's the most epic thing. Could you imagine you're going up for a rebound as Bill Clinton just, hey, yo, I got it. I got the ball. Pass me the ball.
Pass me the ball.
Bam dunk.
I feel like all the NBA games now I've seen that, like, because of like the more recent ones of how like the character customization is like so specific and stuff that you can like that people are like, I think I saw one where someone like made Kanye in the game, which now seems very relevant.
That's a good point.
Like you can like, create specifically, like people are using it almost as like an art kind of thing of like trying to like create really accurate depictions of people in the game because they're so specific now.
All right, number 6 on the list is Donkey Kong Easter egg. The 8-bit Atari version of the original Donkey Kong had a secret that took 26 years, yes, 26 years to come to light. Programmer Landon M. Dyer coded in his initials into the game, which could only be seen after killing off Mario.
Wait.
I feel like it's a very traditional thing for like creators of stuff to hide their initials into it, like how in like The Simpsons, in Homer Simpson's year, it's like the guy who created it. But that's interesting how like 26, like that's so, I'm sure it was just like a small image of like LMD or LD or whatever. And like that's so specific.
Keep in mind, that's longer than we've been alive. Just to put that into perspective.
Yeah, there was a video that I saw actually recently that it was like a TikTok or something, and someone's dad that actually had programmed the game or developed the game put his last name on like every single piece of cargo that was in the game. So the guy was like, fun fact, my last name is in this game and appears hundreds of times. So I thought that was like really cool because they are the creators, they are the programmers and developers. They can do whatever they'd like to do as long as they don't get super caught.
Yeah, I'm sure all of those Atari games have tons of Easter eggs.
So Chris, what do you think about this Easter egg? Do you think if you were a developer or creator, would you put your initials in? Or what would be the thing in the game that you would put in so it would be like your thing?
Well, if I was going to talk about this Easter egg, I mean, if I was the creator of this game, obviously I'd put something of my name in there somewhere, maybe like a picture of me. I would probably do a thing where if you hit a certain number of points, like in the game, like if you hit a certain number of buttons or maybe put in a code, that the main character's face would just flash my face for like a frame. And then like that's it. And then so it's just that's my face.
It's Chris, man.
That's how you know it's me. But I'm confused about how, like, I've never played the game, and so I didn't know Mario was in the game at all. But to kill Mario, I mean, that sounds like something you kill a lot of people in a lot of video games. Yeah. To kill Mario, to take 26 years for that to come out, like all you have to do is kill Mario and then his name appears. Why did it take 26 years for someone to finally kill Mario? I feel like if I had this game,
maybe it was that like no one noticed it or put 2 and 2 together. Like they might have thought it was just like a background graphic or something like that. Like they might not have put together that it was the guy's initials.
But I don't know about like other people that play a game. But when I play a game and I see like, oh, Mario's here, like it's the same thing with if you see fire. Like you always stand in the fire to see if it causes damage. If you see Mario in the game, you go, I wonder if I can kill him. So you try to kill him. Like right when you see him, that's what I do.
I think for the original Donkey Kong games and stuff, you're supposed to have Mario save Peach or save whoever he saves. So I think no one really thought to kill off Mario, instead to just try and kill DK.
Listen, you know what? I think it's justified to kill Mario because I interned for his plumbing company for 5 years, and let me tell you something. You would be surprised with the amount of stuff that man has gone away with. I think Carol Baskin level stuff we're talking. I'm on an NDA, so I just broke the NDA rule.
Boy.
So you know what? I'm not sure if I can curse on this podcast, but I'm just going to say it. Gavin edited it.
Please don't.
Just say it right now.
Welcome back. I don't know why I cut there. There's a little bit of lag. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but we couldn't hear what Bailey said. But I guess we just have to move on.
I guess we just have to move on from that.
One more quick note before we move on. I have something to say. So I just looked up this Donkey Kong game, the original one, on the Atari. It came out in 1981. So 26 years after that. What is that? Perkins to do math. 2007?
I don't want to do math.
So that video games were not like nowadays we might think about Easter eggs and stuff, but by 2007, who knows? And especially throughout the 80s and 90s when video games were relatively new, especially ones of like that kind. And as they just got better, people probably weren't thinking about Easter eggs or hidden meanings and stuff. So I feel like 2007 is probably a pretty okay time to be figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to say on the matter.
Yeah, that's kind of in the height of when people were kind of like 2007. There was a ton of video games like that had Easter eggs, so it seems only natural that people would be trying to search for things.
Yeah,
in that time period, yeah.
Especially because at that point, the Atari game, like people probably had stopped playing it as much for a while, so it might have just like people weren't playing it as much.
Yeah. Number 7 on the list is Halo 3 8 Men Easter Egg. A group of human-faced apes are a small background detail in the level Sierra 117. They do not do anything and have no other purpose in the game. They are just there.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Of course you do. I was like,
I know
Chris,
exactly what you're talking about.
This is you, Chris.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, I've never played Halo.
Do you not know, Bailey? Do you not know about this Easter egg?
Here, okay. I have not played Halo, so I cannot say anything. I feel like I shouldn't say too much or put my hat in the ring with it because I've only played it for maybe a total of an hour, maybe tops. So I don't know the story or anything, but that's a very weird one, I would say, to me.
Yeah, especially since it doesn't have any impact. Like it's just in the background. I mean, I've never played Halo. I don't know really anything about it or the story. I just know there's the Master Chief. But Chris, do you know? I assume you've played Halo. Would you like to enlighten us on a little bit?
Yeah. So I don't know, Leah. I don't want to cut into your Easter egg stuff, but there is an Easter egg tied exactly to this one that you're talking about. So Halo 3. So this Easter egg is one of the biggest. Not biggest, but it's one of the weirder ones from Halo 3. Actually, if you shoot them, blood comes out. Like you see blood come out of them. There's very hidden in Sierra 117 in that game. But in Halo 3 ODST, remember how before I said that you could beat the game on Legendary All Skulls On?
Yes.
No.
Oh, you did.
What
did callback?
So
you did. Yes.
Yeah. So if you, I want to say if you beat Halo 3 ODST, which is a spinoff of Halo 3, it's by the same people. If you beat that game, at the end of it, there's a cutscene at the very end of the game. If you beat it on Lasso, you have the ape again, and the soldier. And the soldier is, you know how apes prune each other for bugs and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's the soldier is combing through the ape from Halo 3, which is your Easter egg. He's combing through his hair to try to find bugs. It's supposed to be funny. It's weird, but it's weird that they tied in the two Easter eggs together into the two separate games.
But that's like the fun thing, though. That's like the fun thing about like when makers create games and sequels and prequels and whatever. They can go back to any game that they like. They can even kind of foreshadow their new game, which is going to be an Easter egg that I mentioned later in this video, in this podcast.
You just foreshadowed that one.
You just foreshadowed
something, man.
Canonically speaking, that ape is stronger than Master Chief. It has been proven. The ape has a punch decibel of 0.2, which is the strongest audio level punch that the human ear can withstand, and he can break the sound barrier.
Yeah, I think that's canon. I'm pretty sure that's canon.
Yeah.
If not, I think we just made it canon.
Well, Halo Infinite coming out on the Xbox Series X. If they have an Easter egg with that, got to keep an eye out for it.
then you should file a copyright strike because they took it from our podcast.
Exactly. We just made it for them. You're welcome. You're welcome, Microsoft.
You're welcome, Xbox.
I will actually, since I did Foreshadow, I don't have it in the list that I made, but I will just add 21. This will be number 21.
Oh, hidden bonus content.
But this one is called Batman Arkham Asylum, and I'm taking this right from the website, just so you know. So it says, for 6 months after Arkham Asylum was released, nobody knew about its big Easter egg, so the developers had to show it themselves. Go into the warden's office inside Arkham Mansion and blow up the left wall by the fireplace. And inside the secret room, blueprints for a city-sized expansion of Arkham Asylum, a teaser for the game sequel, Arkham City.
Love Arkham City, love Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, I've played those games a little bit. Not enough to know that, but yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Similar to the Donkey Kong Easter egg that we were just talking about that took 26 years. That was someone solving it on their own. It just took that amount of time. The developers knew that was in the game, obviously, and they put that in there. With Arkham Asylum, that's a case where the player base obviously thought that they had explored every possible scenario or outcome with the game, or the Riddler trophies and all that. God knows I wasted so many hours trying to do those riddles and puzzles. But
it's not a waste.
Looking back on it now, I think, you know what, maybe I could have spent that time,
doing homework.
With my cat,
reading a book.
No homework.
Going for a walk.
Going for a nice long walk by a lake. But with that Easter egg, I just feel bad for the developers, because it's very similar to when someone has to explain a joke of just, hey, look, this was meant to be a teaser for our game and none of you saw it. So,
well, no, I don't think necessarily. Like, I don't think it was probably out of disappointment. I think it was probably like, hey, like, you guys think you got everything, but like, boom, this was hidden there the whole time. Exactly.
So, when people actually tell me jokes, most of the time I don't get it, and Chris can testify to this. I will not get it. I will not understand it, and it will be the most obvious thing, and I'll be like, I still don't get it.
The thing about you, though, Leah, is I'll explain the joke, and then when I explain the joke to someone, they think once you explain a joke, it loses its funny. I explain the joke to you, and you die laughing because you understand the joke, and like you actually laugh after I explain the joke for you.
Yeah, I'm special like that. Insert in that way. All right, moving on is number 8. Perfect dark cheese. In this N64 game, there is a piece of cheese hidden somewhere in every level. That's all it says.
What game is this?
Piece of cheese?
Perfect
dark cheese.
I've never heard of that game, but I guess
I
only
think
makes
it's literally a
sense
game title.
Wait, what's the game called? Perfect dark cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would hope that there would be a piece of cheese in every level.
I thought that was cool. I do want to mention, actually, though, that my brother did send me some of these Easter eggs that I'm reading from. So thank you, Jared, for these Easter eggs. Shout out to you, man.
Shout out to Jared. You're the real one.
Shout out to Jared, honestly.
Perfect dark cheese? Well, wait, actually, I think the game's called Perfect Dark. Wait, is it?
Oh, it is called Perfect Dark.
It's called Perfect Dark.
And the Easter egg is
it's called
Perfect Dark cheese.
Do you want me to? Do you want to refilm it then? Do you want me to redo it now? Just keep it.
That's good.
Keep it. Let's do it, man. Okay.
It was a first-person shooter game called Perfect Dark.
I don't know much about the game.
Yeah, it looks futuristic-y. I mean, it's from like 2000. So
I think
interesting.
If you get the cheese, your character helmet at least should turn into one of those cheese hats that the tourists have,
like
or whatever.
The Packers wear.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, dude, you got the Swiss cheese helmet? Nah, I got Munster, bro.
Oh yeah,
I'm
different
hungry.
cheeses.
I'm so hungry. Oh my gosh, we have to move on. I'm gonna start eating chips and stuff.
All right, so for number 9, Leah, I'm just going to hop in quickly on this one because you've been stumbling on these. It's worded very weirdly.
It is.
The NES game, Duck Hunt, was meant to be a single-player only game, but if you had to look at the manual, which many gamers didn't for many years, you would have known that plugging in a controller on port 2 of your Zapper while in single duck mode gave you control of the duck. Oh. That's very
cool.
interesting.
Oh,
I
okay.
just was shocked by this.
So you could
So
be
you
the
can play as
hunter.
the duck?
You could control the duck.
Mm-hmm.
You could be the hunter and the hunted.
True. That reminds me, like all the different Nintendo games where like you have a secondary character that like does a little bit of work, like Super Mario Odyssey playing the hat, or Super Mario Galaxy being like the little star thing. Like I feel like in Nintendo a lot, you do like small side characters for player 2.
Or,
Yes, Bailey.
lest we forget our lads and ladies in Portal and Portal 2. That is the best dynamic duo, I feel, in video game history.
Well, I feel like then that's the scale. The scale is from Portal 2 to Duck Hunt, of just controlling a small thing in the game to being in Portal. That's a great 2-player game.
I remember playing Duck Hunt because my dad still had the machine. I still had that console. And we were playing it at my uncle's house. And now knowing that I could have messed around with him and I could have been the duck itself, like, because he was bragging, oh, back in my day, I used to like ace this all the time. I knew where to aim and hit the duck precisely. But now knowing that I could have just been like, I got this, Dad. I'm gonna mess with you, and then just move the duck all around.
I mean, it's interesting that they would hide something in the manual of the game, because back then I don't think, because I was not born in 1985, so I don't know. But
really,
I assume that contrary to popular belief, I was not born in 1985. But like, so I can only assume when video games are just becoming a thing, people are really excited to play it, so they just plug it in and play it. They wouldn't really read the manuals. So of course this took a long time to find because people were just too excited to play this thing. But it's funny that you can actually play as the duck in Duck Hunt, as in like, so you play the hunter, but now you play the duck. So I didn't know what you said. When you're the duck, do you hunt the hunter, or do you just try to fly away from the hunter as he shoots you?
I think the hunter's trying to get the duck.
Well, that's what
right?
the game is, yeah. But when you're playing as the duck,
You're trying to escape the hunter, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think you're just moving around.
Yeah.
You're trying to run for your life because you're about to get shot. So I think the goal is survive!
So
Bold
lovely.
letters, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. But that dog, that dog.
The dreaded dog.
Matt laughing at me like, no. I will mess you up.
I've never played Duck Hunt.
Yeah, it's a old game, but it's really cool. Like, I at least know of it. So, moving on to number 10 on the list is Uncharted 4 Secret Relics. There are 3 secret items in the game that make reference to past games from the developer Naughty Dog. The strange pendant is the pendant from the Fireflies in The Last of Us. The strange relic is a precursor orb, an item from the Jock and Dexter games. Lastly, the strange fruit item is a recreation of the Wumpa fruit from the Crash Bandicoot games.
That's an interesting example. It almost seems Nintendo-esque of like putting Easter eggs in from your other games and like other series.
Oh, absolutely.
Hype up your own studio. So you know what? Remember this classic game? Well, it's in our new best-selling game, and you remember that one too? We're gonna put it in our new one.
What those Easter eggs do is it kind of tailors to the people that play every other game that Naughty Dog makes. So Naughty Dog is kind of tipping their hat at the loyal people that would play all of their games anyways. So I love that developers have like a little thank you, like, hey, remember this game? And like, you played this game. I love when developers, give a little bit of acknowledgement and thanks to the people that play every single one of their games.
Maybe. So next to moving on to the Stranger Things number, my girl 11.
Leah.
What?
Oh, that was
We're moving on.
I'm
There's a transition.
I was like so confused.
I was trying to transition and hand it off to Leah, but
Incredible transition.
I loved how all of your faces you just been. What?
That was an incredible transition.
I will still go off of what you did, Gavin. Thank you, Gavin. Number 11 on the list.
No. It was Bailey. It wasn't me.
That was Bailey who did that, not Gavin.
Oh my god.
Bailey did the transition.
Thank you, Bailey. Number 11 on the list is Diablo 2 Easter Egg. It's a secret Easter egg where you're teleported into a field full of upright cows holding spears and axes, mooing at you as they try to kill you.
I had a dream like this once.
Didn't you tell me that dream? I think you told me that dream.
I think it
With
was after
cows
my
in a field?
21st birthday.
Oh my goodness. You
You
know,
had a
sometimes
lot
you
of
go
fun
too
on your
hard.
21st birthday, though, so that's fine.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've never played Diablo 2, but it sounds, from my limited knowledge about it, that sounds very out of character and a very weird, wacky Easter egg to put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it like related to like hell or stuff, like the devil or something? What's Diablo 2? Do you?
I think you're a demon hunter and you go into hell.
Well, now I gotta look it up.
I've never played Diablo.
No, isn't Diablo the RPG game where it's not in real time, but you could position characters on certain blocks and then they attack or whatever? It's kind of like chess in that sense.
It's a hack and slash video game. I just looked it up. I don't know if you could hear my keyboard ASMR, but I just looked it up. It's a action role playing hack and slash game. Also, Diablo 2 came out in 2000, so it wasn't like the world's best game. The graphics aren't incredible, but yeah, okay.
It's kind of similar to World
Yeah.
of Warcraft, then I would guess.
It does look like
Yeah,
it
it
has
looks
some
like
like
that.
satanic imagery and like skulls and fire. So I assume a field of cows does seem pretty out of character.
Lovely.
Unless that's actually what hell is like.
I misheard that as there's a lot of Titanic imagery, and I was going to say, is Rose another character that you fight against and she has a door for the shield?
Maybe.
Rose didn't go to
Possibly.
the Titanic heaven. She went actually to hell
Rose-
with a bunch of cows. And
Rose drew a pentagram on the door. She sacrificed Jack's blood.
Okay.
Yeah,
Super
okay,
fun
wow.
and lighthearted. Love this. I'm gonna have nightmares. Let's move to number 12 on the list, and that is Assassin's Creed 3 Easter egg. If you decide, yeah, I see you, Chris. I see you.
I love Assassin's Creed. Let's get into this one.
I think this is the one that I really liked, but hold on. Okay. If you decide to take a break from helping, it is George Washington defeat the Redcoats and hang out at the homestead, find a turkey, go up to it, feed it, and punch in the famous Konami code. Again, that's up, down, left, right, BA.
I love this.
And
I love
of
this
course, the turkey will don a cloak and hood just like your assassin, because why not?
Oh, that's cute.
I
That's
love
cute.
that.
I thought
love
it was
that.
so cute.
It's
And I was
cute.
like,
I think it follows you too. I think the turkey follows you.
probably. That'd
That's
be
so
so
funny.
sick to have a turkey sidekick. Like,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
I do like the types of Easter eggs that are like for in between missions. Like you're just
Mhm.
saying, if you're taking a break, like and just like roaming around the map, like I like those ones where it's like just a little in between, little side Easter egg.
Or let the turkey do all the fighting for you. You're the main character says, you know what?
Hiding in the haystacks.
That's how I like to play my games. Is I like, if I am in like too hard of a level, I'll let my CPU players kind of go and attack, and I'll just lay back. Or if I'm playing with another friend, I'll be like, hey, you got this, man. I'll just be shooting the lasers and something, but I'll probably miss. But I'll try and get your back as much as I can.
What a good support.
Like you try to do with the Ewoks.
Oh, yes.
Yes, like I do with you.
Just came up with a brilliant idea. What if we have this turkey, right? Set during the colonial, you know what I'm saying, the colonial era.
The Clone
And-
Wars.
Yeah, the Clone Wars, yes.
The Clone Wars.
Obi-Wan comes in with this turkey, right? George Washington starts singing He Needs a Right-Hand Man from Hamilton, and we incorporate the turkey into Hamilton. And it kind of acts like Lafayette in the sense where it has a decent amount of rapping, pretty quick raps, and then you just hear like that, and then
Well, now
It
I want the
just-
turkey to be voiced by David Diggs. Now I'm let down. I want that to happen. Leah, let us know.
All
What's 13?
Yeah, so 13 is the Call of Duty Black Ops 3. If you shoot all the heads off the mannequins in Nuketown in the first 2 minutes of being in the game, they will start attacking you like zombies. Also, if you repeat this process, but instead shoot off all the arms off the mannequins, they will follow the player around. But if the player were to look at them, they will stop moving. And this is really cool because it kind of referenced the Weeping Angels in the TV show Doctor Who. So
That's creepy.
I gotta mention that the Weeping Angels, first of all, are my favorite. So I will definitely try to play this game and do the challenge just so I can see this happen.
That's so interesting. I wonder what happens when you shoot off their legs. They just fall.
Now, this is my area of expertise because I did do this Easter egg with my friends once we found this out. And Also, keep in mind, this is when I was taking AP US History and the SATs, prepping for all that in the ACT, so it was one of the most stressful times in my life. So when I did that jump scare Easter egg where when you don't look at them and then you turn around and you just see this mannequin-looking thing running towards you, I was terrified. It was a cool Easter egg, though, but I remember yelling at some of my friends because they would do it in a second too late or 2 seconds or a minute, and it was always tough to coordinate with them to figure it out. But yeah, Call of Duty developers, they also on the same map, because it takes place on Nuketown, which is one of the smallest maps that's in the Call of Duty franchise, or specifically for the Treyarch development studio. There's an Easter egg on Black Ops 2 where talking about Konami and Atari and all these older games with the Konami code and all that. I wonder if I can type the Konami code into a bank, maybe like the ATM machine, and maybe it could spit out some money, but I don't know. I digress. Point being, with the Nuketown sign on the Black Ops 2 map, or the Nuketown in Black Ops 2, there's a television screen, and if you type in a certain code, I think it may be the Konami code or something similar to that, you can play, your character arms turn into 8-bit arms, and you have a joystick controller, and you can play older Activision, like Atari games that they have.
So I'm just wondering, do any of you know, like, Doctor Who? Do you watch Doctor Who, or even know, like, what the Weeping Angels do?
I don't watch it, but I know of the Weeping Angels.
Yeah,
we actually touched upon it in our SCP episode, which if you haven't listened to our SCP episode, part 1, you should definitely check that out.
Oh yeah, really cool. But basically, the Weeping Angels either kind of really not nice, snap your neck and use your vocal cords to kind of communicate with the Doctor, which happened in one episode, one of my favorite episodes. Huh? It's kind of like the SCP-179. It's kind of like they took the Weeping Angels from that one specific Doctor Who episode and also incorporated that into this SCP. And the other things that...
Aren't the Weeping Angels the statues, or am I thinking of a different villain?
Yeah. No, they are.
They would rip vocal cords out of people.
Well, that was in like one episode. It's not like they do that all the time.
I didn't know they did that.
It's gruesome. It's a really, like, not easy episode in that type of fun. Anyway, the other thing that they do is actually if you do blink or you do look away, they touch you and you teleport back into time 60 plus years ago, which was when in Doctor Who, when they were first introduced, that's what the episode was about, is that this girl's best friend was touched by an angel because she didn't really understand, like, you know, that they were literally haunting her and, like, following her, so she was brought back into time. I could go on for hours, but I just wanted to say that. For number 14 on the list, we have the Dead Space Easter egg, and there's a picture below that I will read off so the picture and the Easter egg connect. But basically, you play Dead Space, you basically talk to a guy, and the guy asks, yo, what's the deal with Nicole? And you can actually find the answer with the first letter of each mission title, and when you put it together, it spells Nicole is dead, so your mystery is solved. And now to read off the chapters in the Dead Space game, Chapter 1 is New Arrivals, Chapter 2 is Intensive Care, Chapter 3 is Course Correction, Chapter 4 is Obliteration Imminent, Chapter 5 is Lethal Devotion, Chapter 6 is Environmental Hazard, Chapter 7, Into the Void, Chapter 8, Search and Rescue, Chapter 9, Dead on Arrival, Chapter 10, End of Days, Chapter 11, Alternate Solutions, and Chapter 12, Dead Space.
That's so cool.
That is really
insane.
Cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's like so... That's one of those things where, like, if you're looking at it in front of you, like, you just read it, like, down. Like, it's like when there's, like, letters or something like that. Oh, my God. I find those
literally, that's what the image is that I'm looking at.
That's really cool.
Like, the chapter list?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so cool. I dig
that.
That's clever. Like, a lot of the ones we've like talked about are cool, but that one is just straight up clever.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't force you, but if you just look back at the main menu or the mission selection screens, you can just look at that and just what Gavin was saying before, just see, oh, look, that's something that is interesting and is eye-grabbing, you know?
Well, you probably wouldn't even notice it initially. Like, I don't think about that when I look at chapter titles, even if it's, like, in a list, and, like, that's crazy. That's, like, a deep cut.
I have a question. Do you all like horror games, or what's your take on those? Or horror anything, let's say.
I like horror games, but I just don't like jump scares, and they're just full of jump scares. So I don't.
Yeah.
I can't. I got scared when I played Five Nights at Freddy's when that was a big thing, and that was Five Nights at Freddy's, and I couldn't play that game. So I like watching people play those games, but I can't play them myself.
Same.
Yeah, I think I would agree with Chris. I think I'm gonna still route.
Yeah, for me with horror, if I do agree with Chris, I think if it's all jump scares, that to me is not horror. I mean, yes, it is scary because you're not expecting it, but I think if you genuinely make the game or anything creepy and it's just disturbing on top of jump scares and other elements combined, that for me is what works. I forget there's some PC horror game where you have a video camera and you're looking through this abandoned asylum. That to me, or even something like Slender Man, that's still genuinely terrifying to me.
Number 15 on the list, Chris, this one's for you, is LA Nuara Easter Egg.
I want to see if I know this.
Let's see if you do. While you were searching the garbage can for clues in the silk stocking murder case, you'll come across a battered cowboy hat, perhaps belonging to John Marston, the main character of Red Dead Redemption, another Rockstar title.
It wouldn't surprise me that they would do something like that. It wouldn't. I thought you were going to say something else because there was a mission that you go into a trash can and you find a knife in there. And if you found the knife the first time, you got an achievement. And I thought that was what you were talking about. But it doesn't surprise me that Rockstar is putting different games into different things, kind of like what was Naughty Dog. They do the same thing. It doesn't. I didn't know that. I love LA Noire. I think it's a fantastic game, but I never knew that they would do something like that. The stalking murder. I gotta double check that one. I gotta find that Easter egg now.
I picked that one just for you, Chris, because I was like, I remember you were showing me the game, and I was like, I don't know, because I like murder mysteries and stuff, but I don't know. I just thought of you. All right. Number 16 on the list is Wave Race Blue Storm Easter Egg. This is a pretty typical lighthearted racing game until you enter a code on the audio screen setting. The Easter egg turns the sports announcer into a sarcastic jerk, making fun of your every move. Then the typical racing game becomes an exercise to see how strong your self-esteem is.
That's funny. I love that. What game is this, you say?
It's the Wave Race Blue Storm Easter egg. And keep in mind, I did have to kind of substitute jerk for another thing, but just figure it out. But yeah, I thought that was really funny, honestly, because I probably would rage quit the game because I'm just like, you're a jerk.
Love that. As a fan of sarcasm, I would love that. They should put that in all games. I've never heard of Wave Race Blue Storm. I'm sure it's a very popular title, obviously.
I'm gonna check out when it came out.
That was sarcasm, Leah. I don't think it's a big title. But yeah.
No, I've heard of it.
You have?
Wait. Yeah, hold on a second. I'm checking. When did it come out? In 1990. Wait. Hold on.
Bailey, what do you think about that? Sarcastic.
I think what Gavin was saying, it's perfect. I think every single video game that has an announcer-esque voice for a narration should have a sarcastic version of it that you can just switch on and off 100%. If you wanted to. Just, all right, I guess pick up that block that may help you. I don't know. You do you.
Yeah, it came out in 2001 on the GameCube.
So I actually do remember this game. I have played this game, fun fact, because when I was really little, my babysitter and her brother actually had this game, and I remember playing it. It wasn't amazing, but it was fun. If I knew this existed, I would have done it, man, honestly.
But would you have, though? Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot to turn off my sarcastic switch.
I would have. I think it's too funny. Honestly.
No, that's
great. I think I'd rage quit in a second, but
I guess you put enough time into this game, but good for you. You played a game.
That was an okay move, but we'll see if you can do better next round. That's what it sounds like.
Try your best, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they're from like New York or like Long Island. I wonder if they have an accent.
And you can put different accents for it too, like, hey, come on.
That'd be cool.
Pick up the pace. Come on.
All right, so we actually have 3 more left. I think I wrote another one down, so I copied it. But anyway, we'll move on to number 17, and that is the Assassin's Creed series Easter egg. This one you guys might know. Yes, Chris, I see you. I see you.
What game is this in?
Just let her talk.
Here's the thing. And then so you'll hear what I have to say, and then you'll be like, okay. So this is really cool. Basically, every named character that you kill throughout the Assassin's Creed series was real and was a historical person, and the location and year of their death in the series is the same as the location/year of their death in real life. However, none of them were really killed by a hooded, free-running assassin, as far as we know. But I feel like Chris, you would kind of know that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So Assassin's Creed prides themselves. I mean, not the new ones, but the old ones pride themselves on being historically accurate. Like there was a scene in Assassin's Creed 3, which, by the way, takes place exactly where I am right now. But they had a scene where you just got a ship, and you would go to Martha's Vineyard, and you would, on your right, you would see Martha's Vineyard, and on your left, you would see Falmouth, Massachusetts, which is because that channel, Falmouth to Martha's Vineyard, is a real ocean. And so they had the distances worked out where you could look left and right, and you would see land on both sides, because one is Martha's Vineyard, one is Falmouth, which is really cool that they had that.
And don't you actually, when you go to Cape Cod and stuff, don't you actually go there as well?
Yeah.
Like go to, because that's where like your friend is or something. But I thought this was really cool. I kind of knew that this was an Easter egg or stuff, because it is, all the Assassin's Creed games are basically based off of history. And I think the one really cool thing that I do want to mention, I think that Chris told me, is that what are they recreating based off of the game to help recreate some famous church?
So Assassin's Creed Unity takes place during the French Revolution, and they have the Notre Dame Cathedral there, and it was so historically accurate that architects are using it to rebuild the burned down Notre Dame Cathedral or Notre Dame Cathedral.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
They put
video game artists don't get enough credit. That's incredible.
Video games in general too. It's just amazing to see how much they've progressed over the years, to the point where they're almost at the same, again, real life, again, what Chris was just saying about rebuilding the Notre Dame Cathedral, but also in general, I would argue that video games, some of them are just, in general, I love to play them more than, say, watching a movie or a TV show or some other stuff of that nature.
I have to say about production, since we're all TBR majors and we can relate, is that, well, I personally feel like if it comes down to video game production, TV production, movie production, it's all really intricate, especially video game production, because you are doing coding as well, which is insane. But I think that's what makes production just amazing, is that everyone is doing their own little thing, but that's also helping to make one big, huge thing. So that's honestly why I chose the TVR major. I'm sure that's why you guys chose the major as well.
Yeah, I can only imagine how more intricate the video games are over like TV or film or all those different kinds of things. Because then, with the added element of programming and stuff.
The thing that I mean, I have been doing fist pumps every time you say Assassin's Creed in this whole podcast. But the thing that I love about Assassin's Creed, and what you were saying, that all these historical figures and stuff, they put so much work into making these characters come to life. Like in the most popular Assassin's Creed they have, it takes place in the Renaissance Italy, and you work side by side with Leonardo. I almost said DiCaprio, Leonardo da Vinci, but they give the actor, the actor who plays him does such a good job that you actually feel like, oh, this is what he really was like, and you work alongside like Da Vinci. You have in the third one you have George Washington. In what was it? You have like all these like Captain Cook, who is like a sailor from, I forget where he's from, but you meet him, and it's like you just meet all these different people, and they come to life, and it's just so cool.
And going directly off of that, I feel that we've been able to capture human beings. We're getting really close to capturing the essence of us in video games. When you look at, say, a character's hair or their eyes, everything just looks so expressive. And I was just watching, ironically enough, that we're talking about this right now, right before we started recording. I was watching a behind the scenes of the video game God of War and how they recorded the motion capture, which I think for me, that would be something I would love to do at some point in my life, working in that field. And you see this actor. Is that
the thing with all the cameras?
Yes,
like,
the dots on your face.
It's what Andy.
So sick.
It's what Andy Serkis does for Gollum and Caesar for the movies. But
I don't know
what I'm trying to get home with that is, it's just so amazing that yes, these actors, looking in on it's just, oh, they look so silly. They're wearing these black morph suits and having these weird helmets on their head. But when you see it translated into the game and you see these people with their raw emotions and the amount of talent they can bring in just a video game, it's just so incredible. And also, these people are immortalized now. Their bodies and their voices and their expressions will live on forever.
I feel like that even just within the last 5 years, like games have gotten even so much better. In 10 years, like you can see just the difference is exponential. All right, Leah, we have a couple left. What's second to last one, is it?
Bring it on
second
home.
to last one, correct. Number 18 on this list is in Metal Gear Solid. One of the bosses named Psycho Mantis is quite unique. Before fighting him, you have a conversation, and he is able to name games you like or have played before by scanning your PlayStation's memory card. And if this isn't creepy, I don't know what is.
I don't like that.
Really short thing is I also have to give out a shout out to Jeremy for helping me as well find some of these Easter eggs. But anyways, getting back into this,
thank you,
that
Jeremy.
was like really when he told me this, I was like, that's creepy.
That kind of reminds me of in Undertale. I don't remember exactly what it was because I haven't played that in a while. But if you like fail this one part, then you can like quit and like go back to the saved position. But like one of the characters will like say like, I know you went back to like the safe position or like something like that. And it's like super like, it's like kind of creepy like that, of where it like knows that you saved like something outside of the game. And so that's what reminded me of. It's super cool.
Yeah, this is where games started to listen in on us and know and track our every move and our every
and look at our stuff.
Creepy.
Social media apps and everything now, it's just everything is listening in at this point. So if a video game does it, just whatever. If you tell me what I like to play, all right, fine. Touche.
So the last one that we have is actually, I do want to mention as well, Gavin, when you're editing this, I'll send you the video, and if you could have some of the sayings from that video put into the podcast, it would make it all the more funnier because I saved the best for last.
That's awesome.
And this one is the Borderlands, the prequel Easter egg. After completing the quest Another Pickle, you will get a gun called Shoker Boganella that has 15 different voice lines as you shoot, reload, and swap the weapon. Although I'd love to tell you all the quotes, I can't due to rating purposes, but I will say that 3 of the quotes are, get in there, and I said that with the accent because the gun has like an English accent. Get in there, wear that on your head, and when you reload it, it will say, put another in me.
Oh, Borderlands is one of the wackiest games, but in a good sense. I feel whenever I watch a gameplay of it, or when I did play it, I think I might have played it one time, it's just, you just gotta realize, it's one of those games, just accept whatever is happening. It's going to be wacky and crazy.
Yeah, it knows it's wacky. What's the most recent one that just came out recently? Was it Borderlands 2?
3.
Or 3?
I played a little bit of that one already.
Whatever the most recent one was, I played a little bit of that, and it was pretty wacky.
It's what Leah was just saying. The guns in Borderlands, someone said, I think they were bragging about it, some of the developers, there's over 15 million guns or something throughout all of their games, or maybe one game. But there are some where, again, they'll say certain dialogues when you're reloading or when you're shooting it. So you could just hear randomly you're fighting an enemy, just like, start shooting him, yeah, in the British accent. It's just when my friend had showed me this, we were watching the video like hour on end because we were just cracking up. These sayings, Gavin, maybe we'll put the ones
I'll toss
from
a
the
few in there.
video in
Yeah.
here?
Oh, we will insert them right. Ready? They're going to be inserted right now.
Get in there! Yeah, that on your head! Put another in me! I'm bloody empty!
Wow, wasn't that fun? Wasn't those great? Those are great.
Those are
That was great.
amazing. Those are so funny.
So funny.
But yeah, those were all of the Easter eggs that I found. Of course, the best for last, but I do want to again thank my brother, and I do want to also thank Jeremy for helping me find these Easter eggs, because honestly, I could not have found these without them. And I also kind of want to thank Bailey, because he kind of made a little list. I didn't use any from the list that he gave me, but I was more able to get a sense of what like Easter eggs to look out for. So thank you to all you guys, honestly.
You did end up having 20 because you ended up with, you said 19, but you had tossed in an extra one in there. So I think you did actually end up having 20.
Well, I said 21, but it actually went down to 20.
It actually was 20, what you said in the beginning. Yeah.
So I have to ask you guys now, going back in the list, if you can remember all 20 of them. Chris, what was one of your favorite Easter eggs from the list?
I like the fact that when we're talking about Arkham Asylum, I really like that game. I haven't played Arkham Asylum, but I've played Arkham City, and it was a really good franchise. That it was so well hidden that the developers were like, they haven't found it yet. Like, then they were probably hoping that someone would find it, and it took so long that no one found it. So they just eventually just gave it to people. They're like, oh yeah, we hid something in this game, but it was that was the only one that I heard of that no one had actually found it, because people scrub through video games like right when they come out to see if there's anything hidden. So it's amazing that they couldn't find anything.
Yeah. Bailey, what about you?
I think for me, easily the Borderlands gun, which the last one I think maybe the best for last for me, at least. I thought that was a really good one. But then also Nicole is dead. Spoiler alert for Dead Space, which I'm not sure how pivotal of a character she is.
I forgot to say spoiler alert.
It's okay, but I think that one, I just love Easter eggs, which Gavin was talking about before in that instance, where when you look back at it, or also the one that he was talking about where when you go back to the saved position, or the characters say, hey, you went back to this saved moment, come on, you can do better than that. Again, that one too, the sarcastic voice announcer in the race car game. I just love those. I thought those really are definitely, honestly, some Easter eggs that are worthy enough for me to possibly buy those games.
Gavin, what about you? What was one of your favorite Easter eggs?
Yeah, you guys definitely took those were like the first two that I thought of, was the Batman one and the Dead Space one. But I also really liked the Assassin's Creed 3 one, where you turn the turkey into like, or has like the cloak and hood and stuff. I think that's so funny. I love all those different kinds of things wherever there's like animals that you dress up or any other like, I love those. Those are so fun. But yeah, definitely like the Nicole is Dead Space one, and the Batman one is also super cool.
Yeah. I thought my favorite ones, top two, I'd agree with Gavin, actually. The Assassin's Creed one, like seeing a turkey in a cloak and a hood, honestly, couldn't get any better. The other one that I really liked as well was the Borderlands one, because who doesn't love a talking gun with an accent? And I gotta actually also agree with Bailey, the Wave Race Blue Storm one, with having the sarcastic jerk announcer kind of lower your self-esteem, is just, I'd love to play it for that, just to hear it and then rage quit.
Pain.
It is.
It's a great motivator, especially with a video game.
But also, like, I do want to mention the Doctor Who one, really cool as well. But yeah, so I think that's all of them. But again, thank you guys for, telling me a little bit more about each of your inputs and the background behind each game. Because honestly, I was kind of going into this like, here's the facts. What do you got?
Yeah, Leah, thank you so much for doing all this background research and for doing all of it. These are all so cool. These are all very interesting and very diverse.
Also, thank you all for having me. Yeah. This was an incredible time. I love video games, and there's a college TV show that I work on called Game Over, where we talk about video games. So it made me nostalgic for those times before, COVID happened and quarantine and all that, and it's making me excited to play some video games right now too. But yeah, this was an absolute pleasure. Really had a great time.
Thanks for coming by, Bailey.
Yeah,
really great.
Thank you, Bailey. It was honestly so fun to have you on, honestly.
Well, anyway, I guess now we can just turn this right into the ending. Let's just go right into the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, again, Leah, thanks for the research. Bailey, thank you for being here. Chris, you're looking cute. This has been The Strange World. Not that you guys don't look cute. I just needed something to say about Chris. I'm Gavin.
I'm Chris.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Bailey.
Thanks for throwing that in. Well,
and I'm not cute.
No, Bailey, you're adorable. Don't get your
Bailey,
don't
you're cute, man.
Gavin, I'm gonna kiss you. Stop it.
Oh my goodness, only with masks on. All right. We'll catch you guys
Chris,
next week.
no mask. Chris, I'm koalaing and hugging him. It's adorable. You can't see it, but he's wearing a cute little tank top. See you next week.
All right, take us out, Craig. Want more of This Strange World? You can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at This Strange World Podcast, and on Twitter at This Strange Pod.
Ready?
Tell me one. No?
All right.
All right.
Well, I gotta do the intro to it, Leah. Welcome to The Sources. This is like the after the show, the epilogue. This is the Sources segment. We also have them in the description. But Leah, you had so many fun facts and Easter eggs. Tell us all of the sources where you got them from, because we didn't come up with any of them. Someone else did. No, all these video game companies did. Tell us about them.
Right, so the first one is from gadgets.ndtv called 13 Easter eggs that took way too long to find. Second one is from YouTube called Boganella, the Talking Shotgun, Borderlands, the pre-sequel gameplay. Next one is from Digital Trends, the best gaming Easter eggs of all time. Next one is from Call of Duty Fandom Wiki, and the one after that is called Kotaku, 10 of the best Easter eggs in video games. Next one is from YouTube as well, and it's called the Uncharted 4 Relics, Strange Pendant, Strange Relic, and Strange Fruit Relic Finder Trophy. The one after that is from YouTube as well, called Monkey Family in Halo, the Master Chef Collection, Eurogamer. The one after that is still from YouTube, called Perfect Dark Cheese Locations. And again, YouTube with Animal Crossing, New Horizons TV, Alien Message, UFO, 3:33 a.m. Saturday. The next link is from Bioshock Fandom, called 1999 Mode. And the second to last one is from YouTube, called Evolutions of Totaka's Song from 1992 to 2019. And the last one is, you guessed it, from YouTube, called Games That Use the Konami Code as of 2018.
A lot of videos. Did a lot of videos for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We already touched upon our favorite ones, but I totally forgot about, because it was so early. The Animal Crossing one, the Alien one, the Alien Message. I really like that one too. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was cool. I actually saw the screen recorded video that it was cool that it's an Easter egg, but the video was just
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
We should all check it out at 3:33 a.m. and do a follow-up and see
Of what we thought about it.
Of what we thought about the aliens on the TV. Might be a thought.
I mean, I saw it.
I mean, I don't have a Switch or Animal Crossing, so I just have to watch it on YouTube. So I can watch it at any time. But I'll watch it at 3:30 a.m.
Watch it at 3:33. Make it all.
Wait, is it only on Saturdays? Is it only on Saturdays?
No.
Because it says Saturday. Oh,
Yeah.
that would be even more
Saturday.
specific if it was once a week at 3:33 a.m. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's the sources. Be sure to next week. We'll come up with an ending. Well, that's
Maybe.
Have a good one. We'll see you. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.